see? I can't even stare at Krow. They come from miles around just to eat my field and laugh in my face.
Live from the governor's mansion, you're listening to the Crow's Corner podcast.
So I got with a sick ass clip and went all out.
What up?
It's your boy Adam Hill.
This is Wahamiyd.
Sick cuz the gum.
And you're dealing with the Crow's Corner, or you're rocking with the Crow's Corner.
Welcome.
Another rainy Friday.
It's 2 weeks in a row been raining.
Yep.
Maybe adjust the
Shout out to the farmers out there that's getting all that good rain.
Yeah, we need that rain though. So today, this is episode what? 4?
Episode 4.
Episode 4.
We're picking up some traction. You know what I'm saying? We getting a little bit of feedback. I like to shout out those who are supporting us. What was the guy name?
Yeah, on the Facebook, on the Jim Crow page. Shout out Sunny Reds and
Shout out to you.
let me see, Salim Higgins, Akachi the Lamp, Jelani,
Shout out
several
to you.
more. A lot of people. Thomas Leahy.
Salute.
Oh
Michael
yeah.
Tosin.
Thomas Leahy, man. Shout out to you, please.
Yeah, he played the reporter in our video.
and the Revolution video, Jim Crow Revolution video. Shout out to you, man.
Go
Mr. Thomas
check
Leahy.
that Revolution out. You ain't checked that video out. You know what I
And
mean?
check out the Uninvited in stores, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, SoundCloud.
Just good hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Real quick, because I always start the
local-based
segment with
hip-hop,
this,
you
if
know?
y'all haven't noticed. How was y'all week?
It was all good. For me, like any day above ground, you know what I'm saying?
That's
I
what's
gotta
up.
be
That's
thankful
what's
for,
Yeah, short work week, but stay busy.
Exactly.
And, shout out to the NVA. What's it? NVA?
DMV.
DMV. Yeah. Shout out to y'all guys who made my Friday a living hell.
Oh, you mean the real
the MVA.
Yeah, the MVA.
MVA.
Yeah.
Motor vehicle.
Yeah, motor vehicle. Gave me hell because I'm catching spending money on Ubers, trying to get my registration.
Reinstated. And all
Yeah,
that.
and kind of find out I gotta kick out more dough Monday. So
They get you coming and going, man. They get you coming and going. Like,
So-
not only do you gotta pay, like I got mad tickets right now.
who you
I said I was gonna do better. You know what I mean? But like, not only do you gotta pay the actual fine, now you got something called administrative flags.
Yes,
Meaning that now
yes.
you gotta pay the DMV for even processing the fact
Oh
that you got
my
a ticket.
goodness,
Like,
yo.
you getting me coming and going for real.
And you know the funny part about that, as I was on Preston Street today, taking care of some things related to that, an older guy, he approached me. He said, "Damn, he made a powerful point. Small words, but they're very powerful." He said, "They juicing us for all this money. Where's it gone at? They have no air conditions in schools."
They've been closing all week.
Matter of fact, school just opened up earlier this week. You know what I mean? And like on the first day of school, they had to close like 60 different schools in Baltimore City because of the heat. They didn't have no way to accommodate for the heat.
And I figured,
That's perfect segue.
NVA,
Mm-hmm.
the close to $1,000 that you raping me for. Put some damn air conditions in these schools, man.
Feel some type of way
At least a Walmart fan. God damn.
It's real. It's real. And so that kind of brings us to the title of this episode: public schools versus homeschooling. And like you mentioned, it's a problem with the state of schools nowadays. Schools have been in poor conditions for a long time, especially schools in the city. I've been in schools before where it gets so hot that the walls sweat inside the school.
Dang, the walls crying out.
like
If these
school
hoes could talk.
school buildings like being built in like 1950. It's 2018. You know what I mean? Like they haven't been renovated, haven't been updated in a long time. Like I've been, as part of my my work experience, working in a high school setting where you got the administration basically begging for funding to update the building. You know what I mean? And so, how you think that impacts not only staff but the children there? You know what I mean? And the young people trying to learn. Like, can you sit in a class with 30 people and it's mad hot in there too?
No, sir.
What you gonna do 9 times out of 10? You gonna
walk out.
Yeah, you gonna step outside the class. You gonna step out, and when that happens, like, it's a direct impact because the students don't get the instruction that they need, and overall it impacts graduation rates, racist suspension, the whole nine.
The focus, I don't mean to cut you off, but the focus is no longer there. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of things, presentation and comfort is key to a lot of things, man.
True.
Like if I'm throwing a party or gathering, I'm gathering all you guys over, the fellas, whatever, and I'm telling you, I got a bunch of food over here, man, and I got the Kamikaze tape jumping off, it's on the popping, and it's hot as hell in my house. First thing y'all gonna be looking around, y'all gonna like, since you asked something, man, I don't mean to be rude. You feel what I'm saying?
No question.
So the focus is no longer on the intent or why I brought y'all over. Focus on the discomfort.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just difficult then for the whole school to perform as a whole. Schools is like one of the pillars of the community, and one of the pillars of society. You know what I mean?
One of the main pillars.
Yeah, exactly. Like everybody at one point in time has been connected to a school.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even if it was a brief stay, you know what I mean? Or whether or not they completed it, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's been connected with it. That's part of the culture that we have in this country,
But
And
then
yeah,
also notice they'll finish school, but a lot of students that graduate, they can barely read. They can barely do their math. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So when they trying to do like placement tests to get into say more school, or sometimes these different trades, they want you to take a test before you can go. A lot of time it's like basic math. They can't even they can't even pass it. They can't even pass the test to even get the job. They get the work what school was supposed to be for.
No
I
doubt.
was told, as far as the GED test, they tested a lot of 12th graders, and they failed it.
Yeah. Well, you gotta look at the policy that runs the school. That's the underlying current with the schools. We had a policy called No Child Left Behind. I think Bush initiated that, right?
Yeah.
And so what that basically was is it's just pushing kids along. You know what I mean?
Right.
They give the numbers because the
test.
world look at America as being illiterate,
So that's-
overweight, and behind technology.
So that could be the reason for the push to go to looking for alternatives.
So the idea is, as parents, how do we address that? Do you keep your child in a failing school, a public school that isn't performing to standards, or do you choose a alternative? You do the homeschool piece.
Well, me, I'm on a fork of the road with it. Currently at this point, my son, he's been homeschooled he's been pulled out of school since the 2nd grade and homeschooled since then. And his mother does a great job on it. Shout out to Miss Smith. But right now, due to financial woes, we both had to go out there and work. And now it's on him to wake up at a certain time, basically to focus. And like I said, he's in the 9th grade. He's 14, and he's reading he's spelling 12th grade level words.
Absolutely. Well, that's one of the benefits of homeschooling, like the higher quality of academic information that kids get.
Right.
But this is the part I fear. Like I was telling Gov, his interaction with the outside world, his social interaction is a struggle with other kids and just people in general, because he's sheltered and that's all he knows is his family and his household.
Right. Well, it's about balance, really, you know, because and there's pros and cons to every situation, right? So a pro would be in the homeschooling piece, he's getting a high quality, higher level academic education, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then like a con might be, his socialization or whatever is like that, struggles at times.
Yeah, but see, but the socialization aspect might not be as big of a con as, like it's not necessarily a direct result. There's like the loner kid in high school that, you know what I mean, just gets picked on and all of this.
Sure.
They're the same, yeah. Then they turn into that, and you like, how come they can't seem to interact? It wasn't like they were home. So,
right, that's true. So it's about really incorporating, that social component to homeschooling, and that's it can be flipped, you know what I'm saying, as a positive, because when a child is home, they're with their family members usually, and that's an opportunity to develop like socially, like that. You know what I'm saying?
And then even if some like say public school, you might be in a bad school. Where you're getting a lot of bad information. Like there might be like even private schools sometimes can be wrong. Like say it might be on a particular thing and they believe in some crazy type of thing, so they trying to socially put you in this way. There's nothing like the rest of the world. So they got their little bubble that they pretty much almost like cult like sometimes of these schools. Sometimes they, you know what I mean?
It's like it's a program,
right? And they program it, and these people they grow up messed up. Like you'll see them later on, they're like 40, 50, 60 years old, still messed up from school.
And my wife and I was talking, and she's like, she was doing some type of research on how the public schools condition children for prison, and from hearing the school bell ring, they're geared to get up and leave class.
Move, the herd, like
line
the
up
herd.
in the line.
Yeah.
Now they don't call you out by your name. You have a number. Certain way you get your food and your lunch in the cafeteria room, and it's like it's a conveyor belt, like a zombie type of mode.
Right.
You know.
Well, you hit the nail right on the head, because that's one of the primary roles of school in society is to train the students or children, if you will, to be either in the workforce or be in the military. You see what I'm saying? And so it fuels the economy, it fuels the country. In the event that a child, for whatever reason, doesn't identify with school, you know what I mean?
Right.
It may be that the content is not something that they feeling. It may be that classrooms is too crowded, it's too hot, you know what I'm saying, too much violence, too much distraction. Then they still, school systems as an entity, still benefiting from children with the school to prison pipeline.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? Whereas though children who for whatever reason can't get the school experience down or choose not willingly to participate in the school experience, it's a direct connection to the prison. You see what I'm saying? Which is in itself an entity to generate money and revenue. You know?
Oh yeah, no doubt. You summed it up. But real quick, we're not advocating or we're not telling people to not get an education or F school.
Right.
We're telling you to choose and select wisely how you choose to educate your children and yourself.
Word up.
Because what if you choose not? What if we know there's people of all walks of life, religions, backgrounds, whatever. But in your own household, it's your responsibility to raise your children so they can go out into the world and be productive, whatever they're gonna be.
True.
And if it's your job to teach what you're supposed to teach, like everybody, like if you have a particular religion, you have a duty to the one that you serve, you know what I mean, to do what his bidding is, you know what I mean? And even if you don't believe in that, you still got your seed, you know what I mean? You got your ancestors behind you to put everything into them, into your parents, and then they put everything into you and on down the road. And if you didn't have it, you had other people in the community to kind of pour something into you.
And real